Hey, how about Lehigh?
I left early for this meeting. I don't know if we were at that one. I left early and they scheduled it, and then I never did the
Oh,
day.
yeah, we,
Oh, okay.
it was after the last Gen Ed meeting. Before the architects left, we scheduled it.
Like 'em.
I was here till
Wait for the
11.
dings.
Yeah,
Oh, then-
it was just basically built so far.
Yeah, I know. I was trying to put one.
I'd like to welcome everyone to the Emmaus Borough Council meeting, and at this time, please rise and join me in the saying the Pledge of Allegiance. Say, Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. At this time, we'll have public appeals. If anybody has an appeal, please sign in, state your name and where you're from. Anybody? Hi.
Good evening.
Hi.
We're here to see if,
Please state your name
my
and
name is Edwin Cruz.
where are you from?
I am from Emmaus. I live in 525 Broad Street.
Thank you.
And we're here because we're trying to see if the borough would get involved in this program. It's called program Lifesaver. It's for autism kids. The borough, Allentown just got 36 monitors for that kid who just got lost. It's like 40 hours of time to treat the kid.
Can you please talk into the microphone?
Yeah. They spent 40
Thank
hours
you.
trying to retrieve the kid. And with the monitors, if, you know, we would hope that Emmaus can get on board, like Allentown did, and try to get some monitors for the borough of Emmaus. So if a kid gets lost, in 30 minutes he can be found, versus having to have track dogs and
Right.
helicopters and all that, and the whole police department involved trying to find a kid. So we were hoping to, plead to the borough if there's a possibility that they would look into this. And the lady from the program is here, and I'd like to ask her to come up and state who she is and explain a little bit more.
Sure. I think some of us are aware of that program from reading it in the newspaper and the media. I think it's a good project. I don't know about funding for a project, if there's money out there somewhere. But if she would like to join in the appeal, just sign in and state your name, please, and where you're from.
I'm Martha Lieberman, and I live at Ridge Street here in Emmaus. I am the coordinator of Project Lifesaver for the whole Lehigh County, the whole Lehigh Valley, actually. We need to get this program here. He has a son. Her grandson has wandered off. I know you saw everything about Jaleel in Allentown. There is a very good possibility that I can get you a grant to get started, just as I did with Allentown and Bethlehem. We're going forward now with them. We've gotten funds to go ahead. But our international recovery time, 99% of the time, we're locating people and bringing them home in 1/2 hour or less, as compared to 40 hours with that little boy and the extra cost. There isn't really no extra cost for the departments. They join, they get the equipment, other than if they have to pull somebody in off duty. There is no extra cost to the departments. The police and the fire, everybody go out anyway when there's somebody missing. Why not a one-time fee of $350 per person? That's it. $350 could make the difference as to whether or not they will find somebody.
And you're saying through this program, the actual residents pay for that fee for their child?
We're trying to get funds most of the time, yes. We're working, the state of Pennsylvania is one of the few states that will not fund the bracelets, but we're working on that. But
Thank
usually-
you. I'm gonna direct this to the safety committee and have them address it. I know the chief is aware of this program.
You see, as a matter of fact, one of the officers was in the original training in 2008.
Public safety, what did I say?
Public safety.
Yeah, but we're gonna refer it to public safety.
Okay, and who might that be?
The chairwoman is
Oh, okay.
Chairwoman Gilbert.
Do you have any paperwork?
Sure do.
If I could have that?
Yep.
Or copies of whatever you have?
Definitely. Thank you.
Thank you. That's a worthy cause. Thank you much. Any other public appeals? Sure. Just please sign in.
My name is Mary Ann Verinsky. I have a grandson who is autistic. He was born with spina bifida and water in the brain. He has seizures. He has Augsburger syndrome. And he has, can't think of the word. When Tourette's syndrome, he has that also. Now, in the past couple of years, he's wandered off at least 4 times. The one time he was found way south on 4th Street. His dog was with him, standing over him because he had a grand mal seizure, and he was laying on the ground all dirty. And we got some of the neighbors that knew of him, and they helped go in different directions, and they found him. Another time he wandered downtown. Luckily, a nice person took him into the coffee shop and sat him down because they saw something was wrong, because he gets a lot of absent seizures as well as the big ones. And then one time when he was walking home from my place to his on South 4th Street, he got in the middle of the triangle crossing, and it was bitterly cold, and he had a seizure, but the absent seizure where he just stands there and can go like this and he's not there. Well, witnesses have said that 4 to 5 cars just went right around him. He could have been hit. And finally a family stopped and got him to the side and got his wallet and the phone number and called his parents. So this is why I am so fully in favor of this program, because to have him found in such a short time would be a miracle, and he needs one. And I would appreciate the consideration.
Thank you.
to get it. Thank you.
Any more public appeals? If not, we'll move on to community minute. Does anybody have a community minute? I just want to state that the farmers market is announcing that they're Opening day is April 3rd, the same hours as the past, 10 o'clock in the morning to 2 in the afternoon, and that runs all the way through till December. So if anyone can make opening day, that would be fantastic. Yes.
Is that their grand opening? I know in the past they open and then they do a grand opening the first week in May.
It just says opening day.
I thought I saw something about in May, on some.
You have to check their
grand
website.
Or do you know
It's on
yet?
their
Do you-
April
website.
3rd, I thought something coming up.
Okay.
I'll find out
Did-
for sure.
Did
for
you get this one?
I didn't.
Shane, is the recycling center gonna be opening soon? I know, I've had some residents asking.
The dates are on the website.
Yeah.
That's all I can give you.
Off the top of your head.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
I know.
We have no special presentation. So that takes us to the February 16th meeting minutes. Is there a motion to dispense with the reading of the minutes? Councilwoman Gilbert, seconded by Councilman Schubsta. Discussion. All those in favor? 7 ayes. Additions or corrections? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve the minutes? Councilman Barrett, second. Councilman Dufresne, discussion. All those in favor? 7 ayes. Meeting minutes are approved. Decision on bids, we have no bids. Communications, we have a letter from a Joseph, is it Dedo? Dito, from the Emmaus Veterans Committee / Memorial Day Parade. He is, he filled out the event form. I guess, do we just need a motion to approve the parade and the ceremony? Or is it just
Send it to
same as
staff.
every year?
Yeah.
All right, so this is going to be handled by the staff, and also the banner is automatically handled by staff. We have.
for a fee waiver, right?
Specifically requested a fee waiver. for
Well,
the
we
banner.
have a policy already in place that addresses that.
Yeah.
Okay.
You waive it every year, so it's up to you if you want to vote on that or not, but.
I thought we
I
had
think you
we had a
passed on it.
policy for borough organizations that are,
Not for their banner. I mean, we've gone on past history, which we've done. I would go on past history, and why not vote to make it official if we've done that in the past?
okay.
I'd rather
Is
go
there
with
a
whatever we've
motion
done
to
in
waive
past.
the fee for the Memorial Day Parade? Motion by Councilman Schubsta, seconded by Councilman Anders. Discussion?
Yes. For clarification, Shane, have we voted on this in the past?
You have, but
Yeah.
I guess what we need the clarification on is what exactly was meant by your policy that you adopted last year.
It's been a while since we had a banner, and I think we did have a policy on it, but we can look it up.
I'm not sure what that answer is. That's not a.
Yeah, I don't-
That,
I don't know
I thought the intention of that was that so you didn't have to vote on something like this, but I'm not sure.
Doesn't that policy only cover borough organizations, though? I'm pretty sure it's just borough
Yeah,
organizations.
I think we have to.
You'd have to
take a-
check the
take a
list
better look
that's
at that.
there.
Maybe I need to keep that up here.
It's there.
Oh, it's in the pile.
It's on the, yeah, it's there.
Go ahead and vote today.
All right, so all those in favor? 7 ayes, and we'll look that up and clarify our banner policy. We have a letter from the Goodwill Fire Company in Trexlertown, and they are requesting some special fire police from us for a 100th anniversary parade in Trexlertown. And I will refer this to the safety committee,
No, it could go right to staff.
right to staff?
Staff.
Okay.
We only have one, but, I mean, Chief
They're,
Nelson might volunteer for that, so.
yeah, I guess
but
they're requesting somebody to go to a meeting too, so,
Just refer it to staff, please.
all right. Does anybody else have letter of communication that they want to bring up? All right, hearing none, we'll move on to engineers report. We have no engineers report. Solicitors report.
I have no specific report tonight, but I'll answer any questions.
No questions?
I just have a question for the solicitor. Where are we with the potential sale of our properties?
We are moving ahead on that. I think they're getting in the stage to prepare the bids, and also, but we're still have to get court approval on the one property.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. All right, progress from the solicitor. Unfinished business, part 1, we have ordinance number 1135. Is that Chairwoman Gilbert, would you like to handle that? Is that under your committee?
I'll make a motion that we read ordinance 1135 in short title.
All right, is there a second? Councilman Anders, discussion? All those in favor? 7 ayes. An ordinance number 1135, an ordinance amending Chapter 15, subsection 201 of the codified ordinances, maximum speed limits established on certain streets. And this is our second reading. So is there a motion to approve ordinance number 1135?
So moved.
Councilwoman Gilbert, second. Councilman Brown, discussion. Roll call vote. Councilman Brown?
Aye.
Councilman Schubsta?
Aye.
Councilman Anders?
Aye.
Councilman Barrett?
Aye.
Councilman Dufresne?
Aye.
Councilwoman Gilbert?
Aye.
Councilman Labenberg? Aye. 7 ayes. New business. We have 2 ordinances for a first reading. And I'll send the first one over to Chairman Barrett from General Administration Committee.
So first, I'll place it in the form of a motion to read it in short title.
Motion made. Is there a second? Councilwoman Gilbert. Discussion? All those in favor? There are 7 ayes.
Ordinance number 1137, an ordinance of the Borough of Emmaus, Lehigh County, Pennsylvania, amending the Code of Ordinance, eliminating Part 3, Section G, including subsections 371, 344, 372, 373, 374, and 375 of Chapter 1, and amending Part 8 of Chapter 1, creating a combined Recreation and Entertainment Commission.
All right. We have a motion on the floor. Is there a second? Councilman Schubsta, discussion. Any mistakes or corrections or ideas? This is the first reading. Councilman Barrett?
I was going to say, if there is anything, this is first reading, so if you do read through it and have general questions, we've talked about it for quite some time, both at committee level, and I think it's also been talked about in general, what is the best approach for this, these 2 committees, and this is really the result of that. So take a look through it, make sure there's no questions, and then we'll have our next reading to finalize it.
Just for the public's information, we're having trouble staffing or getting volunteers for our Special Entertainment Commission and our Parks and Recreation Commission, and we've decided that we're going to merge them, and that's what this ordinance is doing, is merging 2 committees. We think they'll be much stronger together. And they're going to overlap with what each individual group was doing. I do have one thing that I looked at in my minutes or my notes from when we met, and I think we should put the staggered terms in there. We have 4, and I believe we were going to start them on April 1st, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think I think we should probably leave the ordinance the way that it is, and you can determine what the terms are based on what the current people are
Okay.
serving.
All right. Well, I don't know if you want to write those in your notes, but it was four for 1 year, 4 for 1 year, and 3 for a year. So we stagger them every 3 years. So I guess we don't need that in the actual ordinance. Okay. Any other comments? Roll call vote. Councilman Brown?
Aye.
Councilman Schubsta?
Aye.
Councilman Anders?
Can I abstain from that, but since I'm on that commission, or? I'm okay
No, you
with
don't
it?
need to.
Okay.
I think
then.
almost every one of you are on
Okay, just making sure.
something there.
Okay, I didn't want to.
Councilman Anders, aye. Councilman Barrett?
Aye.
Councilman Dufresne?
Aye.
Councilwoman Gilbert?
Aye.
Councilman Labenberg, aye. There's 7 ayes.
Mr. President, if I may.
Yes.
Just so everyone's clear, if you put staggered terms in, that it's removal for cause. If you do not have staggered terms in, it's removal at will.
Thank you. I don't think we heard that before.
That's the law.
Thank you. We have an ordinance 1138, and I believe that is Safety Committee also?
Yes. This comes out-
Chairwoman Gilbert.
This comes out of Public Safety. It's ordinance 1138. I'll make a motion that we read it in short title.
Motion made. Is there a second? Councilman Brown, discussion? Those in favor? There are 7 ayes. Ordinance number 1138, an ordinance amending Chapter 15 subsection 404A of the codified ordinances, extending the bus zone on the south side of East Minor Street. And like I said, this is the first reading. Are there any corrections or additions or comments? Councilwoman Gilbert.
Just to give you some history on this, we've having an issue with the bus parking up at 7 Generations. They're actually parking out on Second Street, waiting to get in to pick up the students.
So this will allow more room for the buses to line up on
This gives another
Minor.
120 feet, right, and we can at least get 3 full-size buses in there if it's a full-size bus. The school does use 16 different busing companies. Chief Faust has suggested that they notify the companies that they use that this is coming, and they need to cooperate and move further down the road because it is causing a problem on Second Street.
And this will be designated by yellow sidewalk or signs or both?
Signs.
Signs, and that's all? Because it's only school, certain school hours?
Right.
Okay. Any other questions or comments? Roll call vote. Councilman Brown?
Whoa, whoa,
We
whoa.
need
wait.
a motion
Oh, I'm
first to
sorry.
adopt.
Okay, motion for ordinance 1138. Motion by Councilman Barrett, seconded by Councilwoman Gilbert. Discussion? Roll call vote. Oh, go ahead.
I just want one question. So, because this is going to still allow them to back up on Minor as well as Second? Or is it extending the section on Second? Because they park around the corner on Second, but then you still typically have 6 to 8 buses going up Minor on the right-hand side.
We're attempting to eliminate them parking any place other than in 7 Generations.
Okay. Yeah,
That's the whole purpose. We're trying to get them off of Second Street.
Okay.
And keeping them at the school is what we're trying to do.
Right, okay. Thank you for the clarification.
Down the road. Okay. Roll call vote.
I have-
Oh,
One
Councilman
other
Barrett.
thing that we have also, are going to be reaching out to the principal as well. I think he was going to send a letter to try and communicate this same goal to the 16 different bus companies that send kids to that school. So that's part of the reason that this is a little bit harder to solve
It's
with just a simple
challenging
letter.
to get
Yeah.
them on board.
So we'll have signage, and we need to have the school communicate to the drivers of the different companies, because they're coming from all different school districts.
Correct.
So,
Okay, thank you.
so maybe it takes a week till they find out.
At least, yeah.
All right, roll call vote. Councilman Brown?
Aye.
Councilman Schwipsta?
Aye.
Councilman Anders?
Aye.
Councilman Barrett?
Aye.
Councilman Dufresne?
Aye.
Councilwoman Gilbert?
Aye.
Councilman Labenberg, aye. There's 7 ayes. Unfinished business, part 2. We have nothing on the agenda. Items not on the agenda. Anybody have an item? All right. Mayor's report.
Okay, well, I'm going to read a very important letter. And instead of a Dear John letter, it says Dear Mayor. From David Chief Faust. The purpose of this letter is to officially announce to you my intentions to retire from the Mayor's Police Department, effective March 25th, 2016. I've been considering the significant step in my life and career with the department over the past year. I am certain that the timing is right for me in general and for the department in particular. My leadership, training, and experience has taught me that good leaders should be the first and not the last to realize when it is time to leave. As in life, there is a time to come and a time to go. I leave with no regrets and nothing but admiration for the borough, our police department, and its people. Emmaus has been great to me, and in return, I have given Emmaus every ounce of energy I had for the last 35 years. 30 years being the Emmaus Police Department, and 5+ years with the Emmaus Public Works Department. I am extremely proud of the accomplishments that we have made together as a team. The Emmaus Police Department is well positioned for success for many years to come. The structure that we have built together and the talent within the department ranks up there at the top among the very best law enforcement has to offer in Pennsylvania. Mayor, I sincerely appreciate all that you have done for me personally and professionally throughout my career. You are not only the true example of a professional boss, but you were a mentor, a family member, and a friend to me. It is also important that I mention the constant support from Councilwoman Leanne Gilbert, who assisted me and the department almost daily. Both of you helped to guide me and the department each and every day. I was blessed to have members of Borough Council and the managers behind me as well. Mayor, you know my personality as well as anyone. I am not a ceremonial person. I don't like bringing attention to myself. It is my wish to walk away quietly from this position with my head held high. The Emmaus Police Department has never been about me, but about the team of top quality people we have assembled. Emmaus is my home. I expect to continue residing in Emmaus, conducted my business here, and attended a lot of my favorite school activities right at home and at my alma mater. Progress, and I wish the chief the best of luck in the future.
Well, I don't think we can say enough kind words about the chief and the professionalism that he has brought to this department. I don't think anyone could ever fill his shoes. One reason is because he's so short and his feet are probably pretty small. But sorry, chief. But we're going to have to make a motion to accept his resignation.
It's not a resignation, it's a retirement.
Retirement?
No,
No motion to accept?
no, you don't have a choice.
No.
You don't
Okay.
have to
He's
do it.
retiring.
All right. So we will have to have a search committee or,
We're gonna discuss it.
yeah, so we're going to discuss that and figure out what our plans will be for replacing the chief. Anything else?
No progress.
Progress. Committee reports. Oh, before we go any further, I want to note that our committee members that are listed on the agenda are still from last year, including
Yeah,
Holtsafer.
Take a look at the electronic version.
It's been updated.
He may not have refreshed.
We're still working out the kinks of the software.
It is correct if you re-download the application
Okay.
this evening, actually.
Well, when I was looking at it, Holtsafer was still in there, so.
Yeah, it refreshed.
All right, good. If it's correct, it is correct.
Shane's favorite.
All right, so Public Works Committee, Chairman Brown.
Nothing for official action. Our next meeting will be March 14th here in Council Chambers. Progress.
Thank you. Health, Sanitation, and Codes Committee, Chairman Schubsta.
Yes, nothing for official action this evening. Our next meeting is scheduled for, I have to look here, it's not on the agenda. What are we on? March, what is it, Shane, 24th? Is that where we have it?
I believe so.
Yeah, I think it's March 24th at 3:45. Yep.
It's 17.
March 17th.
Yeah, St.
Oh, I'm,
Vincent.
1, 2, 3, yeah.
Oh, wear
yeah.
your green shirt.
Now, wear my kilt.
Oh, no, please. Well, that's all right, I'm not on that committee.
Take pictures.
All right, yeah, it's March 17th at, what is it, 3:45. Report progress?
Thank you. Parks and Recreation Committee, Chairman Anders.
Yes, we met actually on March 1st, and we do have an item for, to be addressed this evening. We received an event for, it's called the Cradle of Liberty Adventure Race, and this is a 60-mile charity adventure race to benefit the Gift of Donor program. what they want to use from us is our area over by Klein's Lane, the Gateway, South Mountain Gateway Trail, and the Klein's Lane soccer field on June 4th. The committee did discuss this, and we did recommend it. So I would like to put a resolution to approve this event for June 4th. Put that in the form of a motion.
All right, and we attached a fee to that of $50 also.
Correct. Thank you.
All right, there's a motion on the floor. Is there a second? Second by Councilman Barrett, and that also was contingent upon proper insurance, correct?
It was, correct.
Are you going to amend your second motion?
Yes.
Yes.
Is it here?
Okay. Discussion.
They are in attendance, I believe.
Okay.
If
Would
you
you
wanna
like to come up and
discuss with
discuss any
them.
of
Do you want
anything
to
about your-
allow them a minute to? You think?
If you want to discuss the event, they are here.
Okay. Was there any questions?
Does anybody have any questions? Apparently, they're covering a lot of mileage.
The only thing that I would remind you, and I put it in your agenda on your notes.
We do have another event here in town, the Funk, actually, we have 2 events here in town. I did some also research. Besides the Funk 5-miler, there is also softball tournaments in town that weekend. So it will be a busy Saturday at least, with many visitors to town, which I think would be great for our businesses to see all the people come in.
Well, that covers the south part of town.
Well, softball comes over to this part of town. They use 4th Street, but
Good.
that part of town could be
Funk
kind of
runs the
busy.
north part of town.
Yeah?
Yeah.
We're covered all the way around.
At least in the morning time frame.
So there's a motion on the floor. Anybody have any questions or discussion? All those in favor? There are 7 ayes.
A couple other items you'll see in the notes that I just want to bring to your attention. A quick reminder that high school baseball will be playing at Community Park, and we are working with them to ensure that the field will be ready with their assistance. They will be doing some work on the field in the upcoming, they actually started practice today, I believe was the first day. Also, you'll see a note that an idea was brought to my attention regarding possibility of a fake Christmas tree for the triangle. Mr. Daishala discussed with me some ideas about that. We appear to be running out of donated trees and trees within the borough that we could put there, of live ones that are 30-foot tall. He's done some research on costs, and there's some ideas kicking around of maybe how we could purchase something like that. So it's something for the future that, we would like to hear council's ideas on.
If I could add to that, because I brought up the history of that. So the council at the time, there was discussion whether to plant another tree, or because are we going to be able to find trees all the time? That seems to be bearing out. But I also did make the comment at the committee meeting that there are new council members on now, even though the old council said that's what they wanted, but they're no longer on council. So that can be brought up
And the
in
idea,
discussion for the whole council.
yeah, and the idea is something similar to, if you've been to the promenade, you see the tree that they have. Riley's, a local company, does provide even storage for that. So there are opportunities. The cost probably would be lessened over a time period of having that versus what we do spend each year putting up a tree, taking it down, finding it, trucking it through town, which part of that is donated. But our hard cost of labor and time would be greatly reduced. That's one advantage of it. Again, it would be open for discussion.
So we'll get more information, we'll debate it, and we'll see where it goes.
Correct.
All right.
Okay. One other thing I did want to mention is the storm that we had, the rainstorm that really hit us hard here in the borough. It wiped out a good portion of our community park, the mulch around the playground area. If anyone's been down there recently, they've been diligently working to rebuild it, refill it. I was down on Friday, and we had a lot of mulch come in, and the crews were there making the playground. Probably for this week, is it close to being complete? I know they were really filling it in on Friday, but we were totally wiped out of that, and we also had to pull, the baby pool had about 3 foot of mud in it.
Inches.
Inches, excuse me. 3 feet, yeah.
A lot of mud.
3 feet would be full.
3 feet, yeah.
You're not a fisherman by chance, are you?
And the big pool had debris and mud and so forth. Again, the crews have been really working hard to clean up down there. I thank the Public Works. The weather's been behaving for them, so it is something that we had
Thank you.
we had seen and hit us. Beyond that, if there's any questions, I would report progress.
I would just add on the playground, by regulation, you're required to have, I believe it's 10 or 12 inches of mulch, and it's not just mulch that you can get from our compost. It's specialized mulch that we had to purchase, and it was several $1,000 and tons of it, right?
Yes.
So the kids are going to have brand new stuff to jump in and not get hurt.
It looks really nice. The crews have done a great job.
It also washed away
Can we get the rip line?
portions of the road. There's a lot of damage down there.
Yeah.
Zip line.
With that, I'll report progress.
Thank you. Moving on to public safety, Chairwoman Gilbert.
Thank you. The first item that we have is committee met in executive session on March 2nd for the purpose of conducting interviews for the position of full-time paramedic. We're submitting 2 individuals this evening. The first one is Cara Berry as a full-time paramedic at a pay rate of $22.50. Cara is from Albertus. She has volunteered for us, and she had been a paid part-time EMT. Is that correct?
Full-time EMT.
Full-time EMT? Okay, it was full-time, okay. So the committee is recommending that we do hire Cara Berry as a full-time, part-time EMT, or full-time paramedic, I'm sorry.
And is that with a starting date of April 1st?
That's
Okay.
correct.
So moved. Is there a second? Councilman Barrett, discussion. All those in favor? There's 7 ayes.
Also, the second individual is April Shile. Is that how you pronounce her last name? Schill, okay, of Emmaus. We did interview her as well. It's the same starting salary rate of $22.50 per hour with a start date of April 1st, and I'd place that in the form of a motion.
There's a motion on the floor. Is there a second? Councilman Barrett, discussion. All those in favor? There are 7 ayes.
As previously mentioned, we do have the 5K road race. We went over everything that was submitted on the event form. It's identical to what was held last year, and the committee is recommending that we do allow the event to take place, with that taking place on June 4th. Place that in the form of a motion.
There's a motion on the floor. Is there a second? Councilman Barrett, discussion. I noticed that they have a few more people covering the streets, it looks like.
They will have volunteers present.
Yeah, so they learned from the first year where they needed more help, and that's great. I'm glad to see this come back. If we can have this every year, it's great. That's what we want to build this community on, events to bring people from the outside in, which is great, and show off our
Yeah,
community.
We don't have to do anything with that.
Any
This is
other
minor.
questions or comments? All those in favor? 7 ayes.
If there's no questions from the notes from the committee meeting, I'll report progress.
Thank you. General Administration, Chairman Barrett.
Yes. We have a few items for official action. The first one is to appoint Janet Rader Burton to the Emmaus Arts Commission with a term expiring 2/7/19. I'll place that in the form of a motion.
There's a motion on the floor. Is there a second? Chairwoman Gilbert, discussion? I'll just mention that she has some, well, you want to go?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, she is a business owner here in town, which is surprisingly something that for the Arts Commission we have not had before, to the best of my knowledge. She actually mentioned that. It could have been passed, but on the current commission, there's no one, which is always a nice aspect, because some of the events that do take place downtown do affect downtown businesses. So having some word on that, I think, will be important. And then, like so many of the people on the Emmaus Arts Commission, she seems motivated to bring new ideas and move other things forward. So I think she'll be a good fit.
Thank you. We do have a second?
Yes, you have first.
All those in favor? There are 7 ayes.
The second is, if you read in your minutes, we had a fairly lengthy conversation about cleaning Borough Hall along with the police station and other borough properties. And after that discussion, we are recommending that we terminate the contract with Service Master at the expiration of that. So I think we have to do that, am I correct? We have to
And it
vote
ju-
to let it expire.
The
Let it
da-
expire, yeah.
The date is July 1st of 2016.
Yeah. So I'll place it in the form of a motion to let the 7/1/16 Service Master contract expire.
All right, there's a motion on the floor. Is there a second? Chairwoman Gilbert, discussion, questions?
Just one question. From what I read in here, technically we don't have to give 30 days notice, correct?
Correct.
Not that we can't give earlier, but technically we only have to give 30
Correct.
days notice, right? So based on everything we know, do we really have to do that right now or no?
We definitely want to terminate.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm good.
Is your
I
issue
understand.
though,
I get
giving
it.
them notice too much in advance, so they might not?
No,
No.
we're okay. It's a professional firm. They'll be fine.
My question was more or less, if we don't know exactly what we're gonna do yet, do we?
You
have
wanted to
No,
leave
we
out,
still-
you wanted to leave options
So
open.
we still want to,
I got it.
even
I'm
if we
good.
go back, we still want to bid
I'm
that
good.
out.
Okay,
Got it.
thank you. Anything else?
No.
Yes, there is.
No, we didn't, did we officially vote on that?
No, I was questioning.
That was in discussion.
We didn't vote
Okay,
yet.
So we need a final,
So-
a formal vote.
all those in favor? There are 7 ayes.
When you said no, there's nothing more, yes, there was. So then we have a fee waiver request for the Arts Pavilion at Community Park from Jay Kleckner. And based on the circumstances, the committee is recommending a fee waiver, primarily because the park is not open at that time, and he would handle all things that needed to be done to make that. So place it in the form of a motion to waive the fee for Jay Kleckner's pavilion rental.
And a date?
April 20,
April 2nd.
April 2nd.
Thank you. So motion on the floor, is there a second? Councilman Anders, discussion, comments? Councilman Dufresne?
Question for clarification from hearing what the council has done in the past. So the reason I'm voting for this, to do this, so this is a question here. Is it because it's before the park opens, or because the event is directly related to something that benefited the borough?
All of that was discussed. We have, and I'm glad that you know a bit of the history on this, is that we have tried to be extremely consistent. At some times, it almost feels like you're voting in the wrong direction in an effort to be as consistent as you can so that when groups and other organizations apply. So I felt the consensus after this was that it is because the park is not open at that time. There are a number of community organizations, members of the community that do substantial contributions for this borough, and we have asked them to pay in full. So this, I think, is a little bit of a gray area, but I think the best rationale was that it was when the park is closed, and none of us could remember a time when there was even a request for when the park is closed for this. So
I was just going to say that.
Kind of tracked
We
in
couldn't
the
remember a
territory.
time that this
Yeah.
ever happened before. It's a borough employee. He's going to be there 2 hours. He's going to set it up. He's going to clean it up. So I think everybody has confidence in Jay. Cause
Well, I think it's important to note though what's
Well,
what's going
I'm getting
on.
there. So his son did an Eagle project at our 1803 house, a 200-foot colonial buck style fence. Is that what it's called, buck style? I think it's buck style.
Something like that.
And the cost that was put into that, just for the lumber itself, let alone all the hours of labor that were put in, was a great benefit to the borough. It was a safety issue because the 1803 house borders the railroad tracks, so now they have a barrier to the railroad tracks. So we greatly appreciate what they did for the borough.
And this is a ceremony for his son for that.
Yeah.
For that.
Correct.
Yeah, it's beyond warranted. It only became a discussion because of past practice and our goal to adhere to some sort of structure. It's a no-brainer to vote.
I think the biggest thing
in
was
favor
because the
of
park's closed, it never happened before.
Right.
So, Any other questions or discussion? All those in favor? There are 7 ayes.
And that is all I have for official action.
Just under there, I was reading the part about billing, and I just wanted to publicly thank our billing department, who's working very hard and really doing very well, as it says here, with our billing and catching things up and even going ahead of steam. So, Jessica and Teresa for doing those, and Tina for filling in. It should be noted the hard work and efforts they put out there. Thank you.
Yeah, going forward, that is important, that's being done well. So, progress.
Thank you. Budget and Finance Committee, we have the budget list, the bill list to approve. Resolution 2016-8, resolved by Borough Council to authorize payment of the March 7, 2016 bill list as follows. Bill list, $413,921. Payrolls number 4 and 5, $298,595.15. Payroll taxes, $81,473.19, for a total of $793,989.34. Done this 7th day of March 2016. Is there a motion on the floor? Councilwoman Gilbert, is there a second? Councilman Schubsta, discussion or questions? Hearing none, all those in favor? There are 7 ayes. We have action to take on the 2015 Police Pension Actuary, and there's nothing actually under that tab. You need to go to, which meeting minutes was it? February 20.
There's an attachment to that.
Yeah.
Is it?
It's all here.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, this gives you more than you had.
Yeah, the notes say
Because it's not like
to read the notes from the minutes. That's why I was saying that.
They figure it out, we have to go with it.
All right. So we have a motion that was approved by the committee that carried unanimously for official action to approve the police pension actuarial study. So is there a motion on the floor? Councilwoman Gilbert, second. Councilman Brown, is there any questions or discussion? All those in favor? There are 7 ayes. We have one more item that needs action. It's the BLS transport, BLS non-emergency transport. We currently have a billing rate of $450 plus $10 per mile, and Chief Hoffman would like to give a discount for those who are subscribers here in the borough. Another benefit of being a subscriber, help generate some more revenue through subscriptions. And he recommends that it would be a $300 base rate and $8 per mile, and that would be, I believe, more competitive too with the surrounding municipalities. So is there a motion on the floor to grant those rates? Motion by Councilman Brown, second. Councilwoman Gilbert. Any questions or discussion?
Wait, I thought it said something different in here.
You guys,
350.
what was the
We're
motion? What was the
reducing the
number?
rates to
It's
300.
350, but it's crossed off as 300 on
We're
it.
reducing the
Yeah,
rate to 300.
It went down.
That was the
That was your
recommendation of the committee.
Right, 300 plus 8.
Now, if you want to discuss and change that, that's up to council, but that's the recommendation.
Okay.
Anybody want to change that, or are everybody good with that? All right. All those in favor? There are all 7 ayes. And with that, progress. Community Relations Planning and Development, Chairman Dufresne.
There's nothing for action here. We have, our next meeting is March 10th at 4 o'clock at Borough Hall. one other thing to remind us of here, Southwest Lehigh Comprehensive Plan is gonna present to the Emmaus Planning Commission on March 10th also, at 7 o'clock at night, here.
Oh, it's here?
Yeah, right
Okay.
here. Yep. So, and also, hopefully Thursday at a committee meeting, we can have some nominations for Volunteer of the Year yet. I think we have one that I've received so far, so hopefully we can get a couple more and we can pick a Volunteer of the Year here shortly. Last week I attended the Emmaus Main Street Program Board meeting, so I'll report on that at committee. Other than that, progress.
Thank you. That ends committee reports. Personal appeals part 2. Is there anybody with an appeal? Hearing none. We'll move to Borough Manager's report. Shane?
The significant revenue and expense items for February are on your iPad. If you have any questions on those. If not, I'll report progress.
Thank you. President's business. Under 19A, next meeting, which is March 17th, we will be having a public presentation here in council chambers with regard to the new Borough Hall, the Rodale complex on Minor Street. So anybody that would like to see the progress that we're making on that, that would be the meeting to go to. I also have 2 things that I wanted to bring up under a safety committee, but I forgot, so I'm going to bring it up now.
Too late.
They're not questions, it's just information. We had a memorandum on the in-car digital traffic citation system. Remember, that's the system we got where they scan license or driver's license, all that information goes automatically into the computer, prints it out, a copy goes right to the district justice, and if you read the information in here and what the other municipalities are doing, it's cutting the time that our officers are actually taking the right citations and getting them back on the patrol again, because what may have taken 15 minutes in the past, they're doing it in 7-8 minutes. So if you got a chance to read that's a system that's working out great. Also, if you remember, police officers had to write out a ticket on those carbon copies, and you had to try to decipher the handwriting and stuff. Now it's all printed out. So it is a big improvement for whoever's getting pulled over too, so they know what they're getting fined for. Also, the police, Chief Faust did his annual report. Everyone please take the time to read it, because this will tell you everything that our police department has done in the past year, including training, grant money, all kinds of information in here. I always enjoy reading this because the police chief takes a lot of time and effort to put that together.
I think it also shows some of the positive trends that are happening in our community as well, so.
Yes.
It's worthwhile seeing.
So with that, I will call an executive session for a personnel matter at 7:50, and I expect no action to be taken.
It's not right anyhow.
Yeah.
Returning from executive session at 8:35. Is there a motion to adjourn? Councilman Barrett, second. Councilman Anders, discussion. All those in favor? 7 ayes. Have a good night.
Have a good night. Make sure to find